Hi, Dave Jacobs here. I'm standing at Level 3 Fitness in Denver, Colorado. I'm one of the co-owners here where we help people with healing, mobility, and strength, specializing with the senior population. And today I am honored to teach you the top 3 exercises to help a senior improve their balance. Most important exercise for a senior to work on, in my opinion, is the foot. The foot is the sensory organ that touches the ground and tells you where you're at in space, along with your eyes and your inner ear. But the foot is what's going to carry you to the bathroom. The foot is the first thing that touches the ground in the morning, when we get out of bed. And unfortunately, for many seniors, we put our feet in socks and shoes and orthotics and don't walk around on diverse terrain enough to really experience what that three-dimensional foot structure is supposed to do, which is sense the ground, accommodate shape to different surfaces, and then produce force. We could all practice this standing in a nice safe place. Put your foot up on a tennis ball, and then we're just going to really slowly administer a soft pressure onto the outside edge of the foot, and then I'm going to go on the inside edge of the foot. We call this the medial border and the lateral border. We have these two arches going down the foot, and then I'll go right in the middle, the transverse arch going across, and just leave some pressure there in the middle of the foot. You probably will find some of these areas sensitive at first, and the more you practice, the less tender they get. And then I'm going to do some toe contractions, like Dr. McCoud said, that the toe strength and the weakness by not using these and by being mashed up in shoes all the time, we're really losing the ability to sense the ground and to hold the ground. So that's what we're doing here. We're changing the shape of the toes and the foot. Meanwhile, I haven't mentioned it yet, this leg is doing all the balancing. I am holding my body weight up because there's more weight on this side than the side that's on the ball. So yes, I'm getting a nice massage and really good sensory awareness of what's going on in this foot, but the real essence of balance is the strength that's holding me here. We don't want to practice like this, and we don't want to be looking down, because that's not how you want your balance. You fall over that way. We want to stand up nice and tall. Again, if you need to, you're holding onto a countertop or a chair. And for those of you that did not feel comfortable standing like that, you can put the ball right here underneath you, place the foot on the ball. I like a little added weight here, but not necessary if you're already, feeling that pressure into your foot. And we'll just go through the same movements, outside, inside, middle, and some toe contractions. You could do this every day before you put your shoes on and every day when you take your shoes off. So twice a day, working on your toe strength. So the second most important exercise for seniors is to move in 3 dimensions. We live in a 3-dimensional world. Your apartment or your home has a length, a width, and a height to it. The staircase has a length, a width, and a height to it. So and our joints and our muscles are 3-dimensional. There's a length and a width and a height to it. So if we could practice a 3-dimensional exercise while standing to improve our balance, it would really set us up for success out there in any environment that you might find yourself in, because environment is 3-dimensional. So here's the movements. We're just going to go really slow. If you feel like you need to hold on to something, you can. You could do this in a doorway or near a countertop, or put a chair here, and we're going to move in the 3 dimensions. I'm going to demonstrate a few reps each. We're going to just come down slowly, touch, and come back up as high as you can. The goal is not to show record range of motion of your joints. You just want to be moving your head and your hands like you're reaching for something authentically, down and then up. The next one is going to be the same we're going to move our hips and our hands side to side like this, and trying to displace your weight to the right side, reaching your hand up and over. And if you watch my head, my eyes and my ears are getting moved in the room a little bit, and that's the load to the balance. We're trying to challenge when my eyes and peripheral vision get changed, or my inner ear and the vestibular system changes relative to my orientation of where I'm standing. That challenges our balance. So you'll feel your feet kind of holding the ground a little bit stronger, going back to our first exercise that was so important, and starting to move and getting our body to go off center. We do this movement all the time when you go to pick up a bag. If you scratch your knee or a mosquito bite, or you want to put some lotion on your leg, you can see that my body's moving over sideways, and we need that range of motion and strength to be able to get here and get back up. Okay, and then the last plane of motion that we're going to work on is your hands moving in a rotation pattern. So you're going to look behind you and like you're offering somebody something back here, and come on back and do it the other way. You can see my hips are turning. Hopefully you can see my knees and my feet. They're helping me kind of change position as I stand here and helping me twist my whole body. My ears, my eyes are moving, so the vestibular system and visual system are all getting different inputs into the body, and I have to still stand my ground, which is a strength exercise of stability, not falling over when I go to twist or fall over sideways or go here and lose my center of mass over the base of support, which is the definition of balance. So the third most important exercise for a senior to work on to improve their balance is going to be a conglomerate of the first one and the second one. We need stronger feet to hold us on the ground while our inner ear and eyes are moving around in 3 dimensions, not always at this nice, safe, secure, neutral spot that we worked on in exercise number 2. So what we're going to do is put you in a really, really important position called the walking position, because everybody takes one foot in front of the other one to get forward. So that's the position that we want to check, strengthen, and ensure that we are stable, so when we're walking we don't end up hoping that we have that range and strength and end up falling. I'd rather make sure you all practice it today and every day. So get yourself in a safe environment, maybe next to a chair, standing next to a countertop in the kitchen works really well for this. Even in a doorway works really well for this. And what I want you to do, again, making sure you feel secure, don't go past your threshold of comfort and balance, but you're going to take a small step forward. Not big, I'm not way out here. I took a really small, just right leg in front of the left just by a little bit. Find your balance. Find where your both feet feel heavy in the ground. Again, if you needed to touch something, no problem. I just want you to feel both feet on the ground. Okay? We're going to move in those 3 dimensions. I'm going to start with just my hands on my hips. I'm just going to tip forward a little bit like this and then come back up like this. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what my body, shape looks like. So again, if I felt unsteady, I could just touch the chair there and hold on to it. And then I'm going to come back up. And so my pelvis is tipping forward and backward. Here's the forward tip. Here's the backward tip. All the while, my feet are anchored into the ground and holding me. Now, if I go to reach up for something, up a little higher, great. Okay, so that's forward and backward. I'll stay in this position to start this side to side. So I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to move my hips side to side. You're not going to see much motion side to side facing that way, but you kind of get a feel for that my body weight's not forward or backward. It's right in the middle. And I'm going to tip a little side to side like I'm reaching for something. We throw things away in the garbage can down there or down there. And then I'll turn so you can see. Small step forward. Side to side reaches. You can look down a little bit at that. And what we're doing is challenging the vestibular system, challenging the oculomotor system to try and make sure that all of those things, the feet, the ears, the eyes, are all helping me tell me where I'm at in space and not falling over. Okay? And the third and final dimension from this position is rotation. So I'm standing here. We're going to move the eyes and ears. I'm going to turn the body slowly. If you felt unstable, you touch the counter. Come on back the other way. Felt unstable? Touch the chair. No problem. Otherwise, you're going to practice just trying to stay in those dimensions. I'm going to look that way this time. And I'm going to look that other way this time. I get a little wobbly, no problem. Working on your strength and balance. It gets better as you practice these. And the last thing, if you didn't feel steady by moving your eyes and head, look down at something in front of you about 10 feet away and try and move your hands across you and your hips across you just a little bit, twisting. And you can see I'm still getting that rotation challenge to the body, but I'm using my eyes to help anchor a little bit better. Okay, and we do that on both sides, so I'm just going to demonstrate all 3 in a row. Get your balance anchored. I'm going to go down a little, back up. I like practicing these a few reps each. If you have the time, great to do in between sitting, or if you're going to sit down for a long time, I do these before I sit down, and then after I'm done, I stand up, practicing these a little bit before I start walking. Side to side. And finally, twist. This time I'm looking right at the camera, twisting, hoping and praying that you are going to practice these 3 dimensions to help improve your balance and strength so you don't fall. And just hopefully you can see that, boy, I'm using my whole body and I feel really grounded there and steady. If you don't feel that steady, use the help, practice, and we'll get better and better at your balance.